Good morning. It is April the 30th, and it is 7:49 Eastern Standard Time because I live in South Carolina. So, if you have just started following, my name is Nicole. I live very, very close to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And when I started this channel, I said that it was going to be raw, unedited, and all of that good stuff. And I was just thinking about it today. There's actually something really nice to that, because, one, as far as I can tell, it doesn't take very long at all for the video to get out to people. I also literally do it as I'm thinking about it, so like I don't have to take days to edit or whatever. So obviously I know I've only been doing this for a short time, but I'm hoping that it'll go somewhere at least. I mean, I'm hoping that at some point, it'll be like I'm helping somebody. So anyway, I come online because I've been keeping track with, blood sugars, ketones, things like that. And yesterday was my day 11. Today is day 12, of course. So, this is showing that I've kept track. One second. So I mean, I've literally kept track since everything started, and I noticed that blood sugars, right? So they started about, let's see, 193, 106, 108, 99, 119, 110, 105. Yesterday was 122. And why is that, you ask, right? So my blood sugar itself was 122. My CGM read 144. And then my ketones were 1.3. And originally, first thing, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on, right? And then I'm like, duh, like you didn't go to sleep till late, right? Later than you have been. And I was like, okay, well maybe that's got something to do with it. And then I also stepped on the scale and I've lost another 2 pounds. So now my new weight is 244.6. Okay, 244.6. It says it on there. I'm not quite sure where you can see it. I'm trying. Crazy. Oh, there it goes. So anyway, I come on here. I was gonna go live, but obviously I need more subscribers for that. Speaking of, if you've liked getting to know me, if you've liked some of these crazy little shorts or whatever, please like and subscribe, or share to somebody that you know that might be actually going through it and just having a rough time and could really, really use someone to follow, watch, whatever. Y'all, I can honestly say this is really helping, because I've noticed a couple things already, which is crazy, right? So my husband and I, we had a very long conversation last night. I won't get into the weeds, but normally I wouldn't have been able to do that because I would have been all scattered brain, and I have noticed that, like, for the most part, like, that brain fog itself is almost gone. Like, I do still have a few brain farts and things like that, you know what I mean, like where you're like trying to think of a word, but for the most part it's gone. Okay, and I will say also that also goes along with memory. Normally during a conversation, if someone interrupts, like I lose everything that I was going to say. I lose that track of thought. Like, yeah. Well, last night there was at least 3 times or so that I stopped so he could speak, and I was actually able to go back to what it was that I was thinking about. Y'all, that's a win. Okay? Because normally I get highly upset because I can't remember, and most of the time I tell people, if I don't say what I need to say right then, I won't remember. And it's not that it's not important, it's just, so, okay, so that's one thing. And the other thing, the really cool thing I think about the fact that I don't edit, and this will get out to you immediately. So if you're new, right, and you're thinking about carnivore, like I said, I was day 11. Now, like, I would suggest going back and watching the video that explains a lot about me, but just a quick rundown. At about 15, I was diagnosed with PCOS. I probably should have also been diagnosed with endo, but because, now I know that I have endo. Let's see, depression, that's a whole nother side of it. I'm sure I'll make videos on it. And I've been dealing with pregnancy issues. I've been dealing with all kinds of things. I'm 39, and obviously, I am a female. Yeah, I'm married, and I have a really, 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 really big why. So, anyway, what I was going to say is day 11, I may have just went off track there. Y'all, if so, it'll come back. I guess I'm just so excited that this is going to get back to you fairly quickly. So I said all of that to explain that I've already got some really, really good stuff. Like, I noticed that my back isn't hurting the way it was before. I mean, there's still pain, but I think it's weird. It was hurting, and then it quit, and then it come back. And I looked into it a little bit. Now, I'm not all scientific-y. I'm, so that if you're coming to me for that ain't me. Also, while on that note, nothing I say or do is medical advice, okay? If you yourself are seeking medical advice, please go to a medical professional, like a doctor. You're a doctor. I am not your doctor. I am a healthcare professional. However, I am not your doctor. So anyway, and yeah, it went away, and then it come back. And like I said, I was looking it up, and it says that is a sign of actual healing of that area. So I'm hoping that that's what's going on, because I do know that my inflammation is going down. A lot of times for me, the way that I know that my inflammation is going down is I have sandals, and I'll show you. I have these sandals, right? And when I'm not swollen or anything, they slide on perfect. Everything is great. It's like butter. When I am swollen, I can't even get my toes through. Okay, so I've noticed it's a lot easier to slide them on. Let's see. Like I said, I've been a little bit more cheery. Thoughts wise, I can hold on to a thought. I don't know if you noticed, just like a minute ago, I segued and then I went right back to where I was, or at least I hope so. Otherwise, it's going to be awful. But seriously though, I'm less quick to anger. I've noticed that a couple times where I'm more inclined to pause and count. Yes, that's what I do. So anyway, because I will also say yesterday I went through a very, what I can only call as kind of sorta emotional breakthrough. I don't want to go too deep into it, but let's just say, because this is a public platform, I've been through a lot of things, and there is also a lot that I've not dealt with. I've held on to, as from my childhood. There's also a few other things that's happened along the way that I know emotionally I've held on to. And yesterday it seems as though the mold or the caulking around all of that is starting to come loose. The mold itself is just kind of, the mold that just kind of holds it all in place is kind of breaking, and certain things are just coming through, and thankfully I'm not getting bombarded by them, and I am able to kind of sort of think about it in the moment. Now, I will say that again, yesterday was my day 11, because like I said, technically I started on the 18th that night. I'm not going to count that day, but I do count 19 as a full day. So anyway, it just seems as though it came to me, and like I said, it didn't necessarily break me all at once. It just kind of scratched the surface, and it happens when you see something that reminds you of it. And for some reason, because my mind is starting to calm and everything, I was able to kind of just be like, whoa, okay, what is this? And I started processing. Obviously, a lot of the stuff that I've been through, I will never, get closure on, or be able to fix. So that was one thing. I will also say that I had those couple of breakthroughs or thoughts, and I was like, aha, and but yesterday also was probably the hardest day for me, for craving. Now, that could be because of a couple things, right? It could be because I didn't really sleep as long. It could be because of the emotional part of it, where I was basically having to deal with things. It could be because, it's just that part of the process. I don't know. But I am telling you as it's happening, well, a day later, but still, on my 11th day, Nicole's 11th day, the cravings were awful. The emotional breakthroughs were awesome. Out of nowhere, exciting, and just a little bit of everything, because it's really good to deal with those kind of things. So anyway, yesterday was a little bit different. So I've been going through this. Okay, so like I said, full disclosure, rawness, all that good stuff. I think I had said something to you guys about the fact that I had been looking through like dry fasting and this, that, and other. And yesterday I was actually capable of going through a full 12 hours of dry fasting. At which point, when I got my water, I literally drank everything in my water. And it was 20 ounces, so that was very quick. Mind you, I went to the gym, no water, and everything, because I was on the mindset that I was going to try to dry fast the entire time. Of course, I ended up quitting. But, you know, it is what it is. So anyway, yeah. Yesterday was a good day. I do think now that my protein has been a bit too high, and that's going to change. I think I'm going to maybe do at least change my burger, because I have been eating a lot of burger. Most of it has been the 93.7, because, you know, you hear so many things about, you know, if you got plenty of, you know, adipose tissue on your body, you should be able to, you know, eat leaner to lose that weight. I mean, you hear so many different things. So, you know, it's an N of one, right? So, I mean, I've got to do what I got to do, and I'll report back to you guys. I mean, you know, but I think that's the way life is. You know, you try something, and if it fails, you try something else, and that's just the way it is. So again, I'm Nicole, and if you like this, please like and subscribe. It helps me, you know, get my videos out, as well as if you did like it and you think it might help somebody, share it to somebody. This also gives other people a chance to get to know me. If you're local, then you know that you're not by yourself. You know, there's someone else who's going through all the motions and trying to figure things out and went through a little bit of everything. All you got to do is listen to my bio video. I believe it was either the first or second video that I ever posted. It tells you a lot more about me personally. So, you know, I think it's just like almost like a getting to know you friendship. I love that kind of thing. And like I said, it's raw. It's really like there is no editing of any kind. Look at how nasty. Well, I say nasty, it's a little bit of a mess because it's got blankets that aren't folded and things like that. I want to come unapologetically me. Mess and all, right? You may see me yell. You may see me cry. You may see me get a little attitude with the hubs. You may, I mean, who knows what you're going to see, but what you're going to see is the real me. Unedited, unworked, the whole night. You know, I used to be very, very different. Now that's a story for another time. But I just want to thank you for even taking the time out of your day to watch my video. That means a lot to me. So, until next time. Bye.